Let's talk about how I budget and how I've structured my finances. It's allowed me to pay off over $10,000 in debt, save a fully funded emergency fund, buy a house, etc. This is what worked really well for me and a lot of my students as well. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. Find something that works for you. First, we're going to talk about account structure, and it's really important for you to get a structure in place for yourself that you know what to expect and you do the same thing every time, and it really helps you out. So in my structure, I have a spending account. It's just a checking account. My paycheck goes in there, and this is where my fun money lives, my spending money. So after I've allocated all my money to these different accounts, all that's left here is just my free spending money. I have a bill account. This is just another checking account, and this is where I send all my bill money, and my bills are paid from this account. An alternate is that you could put your bills to come off of a credit card to get rewards from it, but then you still send money to your bill account and you pay that credit card off in full with your bill account every single month. I also have envelope accounts, so I used to do a lot of cash stuffing. Now I don't have good access to banks anymore, so I do it digitally. So basically, I just have checking accounts for the different envelopes that I need at Ally Bank. You can use any bank, but I like Ally. For instance, I have a grocery account and I have a gas account. I send money to it every single check, and I can use those cards to either go shopping online, or if I need to go get gas, I use the gas card. This really gives my money separation so that it doesn't get spent elsewhere, and I need that type of structure. Then I have my savings account, which is a high yield savings account with Ally. You can use any high yield savings account you want, but like I said, I've been using Ally forever and I like them. They allow you to have buckets within your savings that allows you to kind of earmark money for different purposes. So you can have emergency fund, car repairs, etc., but we'll talk about that later. And then I have my retirement accounts, and I use Fidelity and Schwab for my retirement accounts, but you can use any brokerage firm you want, and I do have videos about that. Okay, so now that you know my structure, this is how my budget works. First, you need to know that there are three main components of a budget: fixed expenses, which is your bills with due dates and also your debt payments, your variable expenses, which is your monthly spending categories, and then your savings. First, we're going to talk about fixed expenses. I do mine a little bit different because I am a month ahead on all of my bills. So I send a fixed number every single check to my bill account. If you aren't a month ahead, you would list out your fixed expenses and total them up and see which bills need to be paid with which check. I do have videos about this on my page if you need to go more in depth. But basically, since I am a month ahead, I know my total fixed expense amount for the month. I am paid twice a month, so I divided that in half, and that is the number that I send to my bill account every single check. It's a consistent number, and it allows my budget to be very consistent. Next, we have variable expenses, which, like I said, are your monthly spending categories. And if you know your spending habits, which you should, if you go through a past bank statement and kind of see what you've been spending money on and what's important to you, you can make your variable expense funds. You can cash stuff these, and I would recommend you do that if you have access to cash. But if you don't, you can also do it digitally. That's what I do. So I have an account for grocery, for gas, and I also have an account for kids' activities because I have to spend on that every month. So when I'm paid, I send the amount of money I need to the grocery account, to the gas account, to the kids' activities. I do have other accounts as well, but I don't use them every month, so I don't always contribute to them. Some other good spending categories are self-care, pets, date nights, fast food maybe. It depends on your spending habits. So like I said, you need to go and look at your spending habits. And next is savings. So like I said, high yield savings account at any bank that you're comfortable with that has a good rate. And you use this for things like your emergency fund. Since I have a fully funded emergency fund, I no longer contribute to that, but I do have other buckets within there that I do contribute to most months. Car repairs is one, home maintenance because I'm a homeowner and you have to save for that. Christmas, I save for this every single check, and at the end of the year, I go and pull that money out and go shopping. Think about future expenses that you know are coming and you need to save for now. And that's the things you need to be saving for in your high yield savings account. Also, things like vacation, if you're saving for a wedding, if you're saving for having a baby, I don't know. Anything that you know is coming in the future, go ahead and make your life easier by saving for it now. So yeah, this is what my setup looks like. It does shift and change sometimes, and this does not happen overnight, okay? You need to sit down and map it out. It is going to be highly different for you versus the next person versus the next person. You really need to know your spending habits. You really need to know what works for you. For me, I like to control every single dollar that I have coming in. So I have kind of an extensive setup here because I like to see where my money goes. You don't have to do it like this. You can do it for what fits for you. But the point is that you're going to have to experiment a little bit, see what you like, see what works for you, and see how you want to structure your finances. The main point is that you just want to have a structure that works, okay, so that you can have something to do when you get paid other than just spending your money. I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. You got this.